just doing a check right now. Where all the clusters are. There's the moon jumping around like that. Okay, I'm going to leave this video the way it is. No stabilization. There's the moon cluster. And see the way he jumps around? It's because the whole thing's alive. It's very bright on that side. But you can see all the orbs that make it up. Okay, the whole thing is like that. Just the other side is still bright to see. Boy, look at those two orbs. More than two. See how they're leaving? See them shooting off? See how fast that is? That's at the speed of light. Okay, so that's what was happening in Sirius where I showed it. So for everyone you see flash, there's I don't know how many tens of thousands that go by. It only flashes like that when there's a conflict and two electromagnetic fields collide, meaning two orbs are stuck in the same spot and one pushes the other one forward to keep the line going. But you see how fast they're like just leaving the cluster? Look at them all. Okay, that's the orbs shooting off. Look, everywhere. So that tells you how many orbs are in that cluster. And these are not rocks. Okay? They're all orbs. But they're in cluster formations. Look, right here at the edge, at the bottom. Boy, the moon's jumping tonight. See how they're shooting off? It's a constant line. Look, they're shooting off from all over, not just from the edge. All of these are just shooting off right into space. Hey, look. They're all just shooting off into space. Because it's not really a void space. You see what's in the back of it? Look. Look, that's right next to the moon. That's the big orb cluster that supports it. But that's just a little piece of it. The thing is huge. Okay, so that was just right above the tip, but past it. Let's see this one over here. The size of that thing. It's like 1,000 kilometers. Okay, those are really big, and they weren't there the last time when I shot another moon video, and neither were these down here. There's a pyramid there, structure, which was a colony. Now look, these big orbs. Now you see all that jumping around? That whole cluster is so alive and energetic that it just, when you get close to it, it doesn't stand still. Here's that big orb, look. It's floating. See it spinning? See it spinning? See all the orbs spinning around it too? Okay. That's sort of like an orb ship, because they cluster up like that and they go long distances. Okay, here's a better view. I gotta hold it with two hands. Okay, so this is an orb ship, and it's just a huge orb in an orb cluster. There must be like a billion orbs in it, because that's like a 1,000 kilometer long orb. See that big cluster right next to it? They always have like a supporting cluster. You see how that was like in a, almost like in a, it's not a square, but it's a hexagonal shape. Look at this big orb. See how? Counterclockwise movement. And it's just floating. And the other cluster next to it, it's like its own shadow, but it's not a shadow, it's a supporting little, not a little, but a big orb cluster that ship won't go anywhere without. Those are the orbs that it sends out to scout ahead and do other jobs, while the major part of the orbs stays in that round cluster. So now you got a good look at a orb ship right there. It's still a cluster, it's still an orb, but it's how they travel when they go far. Okay, that's not me moving the camera. That's the moon jumping. I'm on a tripod. And I'm just trying to keep up with the jumping of the moon to show you this orb. Because it's important to see the kind of sort of ship they have. It's a living ship. So that's a ship that's alive with living organisms. It's composed by living organisms, and everything about it is alive. You can see the orbs right in it, how they move and everything, but it maintains that shape. Okay. And the shape is hexagonal. Okay. It's a hexagonal shape. Okay. But you see how they can change? Can make it bigger, smaller, different color. But it's still the same thing. There's still the same amount of orbs. There's still everything about it is the same. You see? Back to normal. Okay, I'll get back to that later when we see some more. Look at this activity. That's going to become an active cluster right there where that nucleus is forming. There's a few of them. Look. All those white areas. This is where the big one's going to happen. See, the orbs have their glowing. So this side is glowing so much you can't see anything. So this is not a sunlight reflection. Not by any means. It's the orbs producing plasma through electromagnetic energy by counterclockwise revolutions around the nucleus in a cluster. And using their own positive and negative charge and their orbital velocities to produce electromagnetism to such a degree that it turns into plasma. Okay, some of their revolutions are at the speed of light inside the nucleus of any cluster, especially the larger ones. And whole orbs spin on their own axis, and they carry a positive and a negative charge, so they align themselves accordingly in order to produce electromagnetic energy, meaning electricity. And when that electricity or electromagnetic energy becomes so great that it becomes plasma, and then when the plasma gets too hot, it turns into light, like that. Okay? See that? So the moon could be our next star. Okay, when the sun peters out, by then this cluster will grow to a size that it'll suck up all the orbs from the sun that are still active or useful, and that'll turn into the next star. It's not going to be any other planet or any of the planets that are gaseous like Jupiter or anything else. It's going to be this and then it's going to suck in all the planets and become a large star. Because by then it'll have enough electromagnetic energy and gravitational pull to draw planets closer and finally use them for energy. So I'm going to show you here in space. Okay, see what they do? Okay, they create vortices. And even in space you can have vortices. They don't have to be made by wind or water or anything you find on Earth. They can be made by electromagnetic energy. And electromagnetic energy, you know, part of the electromagnetic is magnetic. So that's the pull they have on objects. A pull that's magnetic, but it's electrified, so it's even stronger than just magnetism. And then that's how the moon would suck in all the planets to become a star. And it's very possible, because look at all the orbs in space, and I'm going all over the sky right now. I mean, this is all over. I turned the camera 90 degrees, and look, they're everywhere. And most of them belong to the moon cluster. Just moving out of the way, and I gotta move the camera away. Maybe I can still get it. But I have to back off because I've passed the moon already. Okay. Okay, so the moon does not get light from sunlight, no reflection whatsoever. It creates its own light by active cluster nuclei that turn to plasma and eventually give off light. It has nothing to do with the sun reflection. Just want to get that straight. Get those orbs right there. Okay, just check them out, how big they are. There's that big blue one, or green one. It's still spinning. So let's see how big that is. Okay, maybe it's not 1,000 kilometers, but it's at least 500. Okay, so that's a big orb. 500 kilometers is 500 kilometers. Now remember, this is an orb ship. That's the way they travel through space, like that. Every one of those rotations and revolutions forms a geometric pattern within a cluster. Okay, it's one geometric pattern after another, and it's all about geometry, because otherwise the orbs would collide and the whole thing would explode, because there's so much energy under control. So these are very, very intelligent entities, organisms, whatever you want to call them, beings. And they have to have all this figured out just to, live in this way. Otherwise, they won't be spinning at such a fast rate. And in all different directions, but they're always counterclockwise, and they're, able to move faster than the speed of light. Because you're looking at it right now. You're looking at the speed of light every time you see a flash. And I told you many times before that the flash is only like when there's a glitch. What's happening in between the glitches is the things you can't see because there's just nothing fast enough to catch it. No camera would capture that. So I can only show you what they do at the speed of light, but not anything beyond. So the glitches are where, they're traveling at the speed of light in a glitch. So they're traveling faster when there's no glitch. For every one of those little flashes there in that orb, there could be hundreds of thousands going by that don't make that connection between each other, and things go smooth. These are when things are not working smooth. So they're not beyond fault, and they're not beyond having problems, but you see how fast they correct them? Even though the problems are happening all the time, glitch after glitch, they correct them right away. And look how fast they do that. So, to say that these things aren't intelligent, would be very silly. Because you'd have to be very intelligent to correct mistakes at this rate. And look at the cluster. Okay. Look at that herb just dancing on top. Okay, the cameras understand. I'm not the shaker. It's the one orb cluster that's shaking like that. Okay, those, they're glowing tonight. The other night they were not glowing. See the yellow? That's plasma, and then it turns to white, and that's light. That means these orbs here are definitely spinning in their clusters at the speed of light. And these are very close to the yellow. Okay, then it goes to orange and then red. And, the darker the color, the slower the speed. And that's the way it works. But tonight, they're all spinning fast. There's very few like dark brown ones, or this one's spinning slow. That's a big orb. So for that size orb, that's pretty fast. You can see that the orbs spin around it faster. Hold on. I can't hold it anymore. Everyone's moving out of the way. It's gonna go behind the building. That's the problem living in a big city. Okay, so this is what the moon is made of, what it's like, and how it behaves, and all this jumping around. It's the cluster. See, it goes backwards, forwards, up, down, just jerks around. All the different colors. It can be any color. But it's active tonight. And see, all of them are just shooting out into space. You see that? Okay, there's the interaction right there. Okay, it's gone behind the building. All I can shoot now is the sky. This is your sky. It's hard to tell where space begins and the sky, stops. I mean the atmosphere, because it's pretty much the same in the top of our atmosphere as it is in space. And it's the same down here on Earth, but just the orbs aren't 500 kilometers. They're much smaller. But there's some large ones around. I've seen really big ones. They're everywhere. And, I think we're outnumbered by zillions to one. I don't know. There's so many of them. They're all very smart too. And that's the worst part. And they're all very capable and have all these, possess all these powers we don't have. So, the thing is, don't mess with the orbs, I guess. Or find a way to stay away, or keep them away. Anyway, and this is the sky. I got the camera straight up. So this doesn't tell you something about that there is life outside of ourselves and that it is alien. I don't know what will, because anywhere I point this camera, it'll show the same. Look, I just turned it 90 degrees. I'm going to turn it the other way. Okay, this is 180 degrees. I'm going to turn it down. Okay, now you really get a good look. Straight on. This is straight ahead. Almost straight ahead. It's about a 30-degree angle. Now you can see how they operate and how they move. Just going to straighten out the camera. Because I have it for the moon. Okay. There. See there in the center? There's a cluster forming. Okay, that's how a cluster starts to form. Okay, so we're not alone. There's so many of these things, and they're all smart, and they're all living beings, and they used to be called dark matter, but now, since I discovered that that's what they are, they're biological, half biological and half energy species. They can interchange from matter to energy back and forth at will. This is what's, hasn't been known until, I found it. Because people thought space was a void, but this is space. It's full of these things. It's a endless ocean of life, intelligent life, alien life, and very much different than we are, and more advanced than we are, and much more intelligent than we are. And they're very cooperative species. They're cluster organisms, and that's why they group together like that. But you've seen no collision in all this time I've been showing you them right now. Look how many of them went by and moving at the speed of light, and no collision. Okay, don't forget the flashes and the colors and all that. Those are the glitches. There's many more moving than what you see here. A whole lot more. There's much more movement than even the camera can capture at super fine high definition with a super lens and super zoom power and all that. Shooting at it can shoot at variable speed and everything. I have a choice of speeds I want to shoot at. So this is at normal speed. So these are only the orbs that you can see. in a glitch. These are not all yours that are there. This is like maybe 1% of how many are actually passing the screen right now. This accounts for 1%. So, dark energy is them. They're living beings. Their activity creates the dark energy. And the energy is not dark. They change that energy into light. There's nothing dark about the energy. The energy is invisible because it's electromagnetic energy. Okay, but they change it into light because that's the ultimate form of energy is light. And the reason we don't see it is it's in an electromagnetic form in space. But they are the dark matter, so-called, that produce this energy, and they're not that dark because they're living organisms, and look, you can see them, so you can't say that it's dark matter anymore. You're looking at it and there's nothing dark about it. Look at how colorful they are and how much light they can create. Just the moon cluster alone, our sun, every star, I mean, without them we wouldn't be alive. And that's the whole thing. We need them because without them, without the star, like the sun, we wouldn't be able to survive. No plants would grow. We'd see nothing. We just need them. And that's why they have one up on us. Because we need them. And there's not much we can do about it when we need them to give us sunlight and everything. Our life. And the life force. And therefore, of course they're gonna either use it or abuse it. I mean, they make that choice. We can't make the choice because we don't have the power over them. They have it over us. But anyway, I just wanted you to see, that this is what used to be called dark matter, and all this activity produces electromagnetic energy which you can't really see. So the scientists used to call it dark energy. That was nonsense. It's not dark.
Long as you quickly work because I'm boasting that you don't put anything on them. Now they're all talking about their barbecue things and all that on them. How long do you cook it for? 1 hour?
Okay, this is a slight interruption by my wife. I'll continue. Yeah, so basically, I don't know when the scientists discovered, or if they ever did discover the fact, what was, happening in space, according to all the records and the norm. They never had it figured out, but maybe secretly they did, and being that they're all sworn to secrecy, working for the government and all, they just couldn't say it. because things like this upset religions and everything, because we're supposed to be it. God chose us, to be the children of the Garden of Eden, and what can I say? Maybe God chose them too. Look how many of them He chose. Many more of them than us. Maybe they think they're the children of God, and maybe they think they live in the Garden of Eden, living on every planet they want, in every dimension they want, and being able to live in space with or without an atmosphere. They can live on any planet. They just changed the form there, and if the physical form doesn't fit, if the biological form doesn't fit, they turn to energy. And there's many kinds of energy they can turn into. So they're not limited. But on my channel, I have photos of them from embryonic stage all the way to star size orb, what they really look like when they are in a physical form. So you should really check out my channel so that you can see what these things look like. And then there's a lot of videos concerning them, and not all the photos are all in one spot, so you have to kind of look around. But it'll be worth your while, because it's probably the only channel that has things like that. And I spent years, getting these photos, so I wouldn't, discount them. Never discount these numbers you see on the screen, because you discount them, that's bad news, because discounting this many very highly intelligent organisms when they have power over you is a big mistake, because ignoring them is even worse, because they're not going to go away. If you think they're going to just go away, you're wrong. They're not going anywhere. They've been here longer than us. They've been here for billions of years. They've been in space for even more billions of years. And they're probably the first organism ever to evolve. The first true organism, the intelligent organism to evolve. So it's up to you. You can choose to think this is all BS, nonsense, a crazy guy telling you a story, or you can seriously check it out, and check out my entire channel actually, to see that these are all true facts. There are no lies at all on my channel about anything. Everything on my channel is very real and all true. The raccoons are having a fight. That's just great. Okay. They bark like dogs. Okay, so that's it for tonight. You saw them on the moon. The moon is an orb cluster. It's actually an orb cluster and an orb cluster nucleus, or a larger cluster. because it has an enormous supporting cluster. Man, they're loud, these things. Listen to that. It must be a family misunderstanding. So, what was I saying? Yeah, the moon is an orb cluster, but it's also a nucleus of a larger cluster. That's what I wanted to say. And the whole thing is alive when it's a nucleus like that, or any cluster, when orbs are clustered up in one formation, then they all act as one single individual, and they're still separate orbs, but they act as a single individual. It's like the cells in our body. They're all different cells, but we're just one individual. So the same thing with a cluster or a nucleus. It's sort of the same. The other thing is, all around the moon and all over space and all over our upper atmosphere, these are big orbs. They're hundreds of kilometers. This is no little stuff. They're hundreds of kilometers. And I just moved it up. There's so many of them you can't even tell when I moved up the zoom level. Okay, so I'm pretty far out right now. I'm not in the atmosphere anymore. But you see, there's so much movement you can't even notice that it moved. Now, with this zoom level, I wouldn't be able to see anything on the moon. I'd be looking at like one orb, or part of one orb on the entire moon. That's how much zoom I have right now. But you see, all the way out in space, same thing, no change. So they're everywhere. So space can never be a void with all this life all over it. And this is what they used to call dark energy and dark matter. But the orbs are living organisms that produce energy through their activity. And this is the activity right here. Okay, it's all about electromagnetism. Nikola Tesla was correct. The universe is electromagnetic, and it works on electromagnetic principles and electromagnetic energy. And it's all about electromagnetic fields, because every one of these clusters, like right there in the middle that's clustering right now, and all the other ones all around it, they all have their own electromagnetic field. And the relationships between those fields and the interaction between those fields is what gives the universe the life that it has. Because that's how life is formed, through the relationships of those electromagnetic fields and what they can create. And basically, they create stars, which are responsible for other life forms. Okay. These raccoons are driving me crazy. Okay, that's enough for tonight. So, thanks for viewing, and I hope you listen to what I said and watch this carefully, because it's all true. Thank you.